Madison Smith has had one of the most decorated careers in recent Air Force history. Today, we celebrate Air Force seniors Smith and Joe Hunnemer, who have left their mark on a program under visionary new leadership. While Melanie Perry, the Falcons' top scorer, prepares to officially take over, Boise State is in town today, which means the white-hot Tatum Thompson comes to town. Air Force will have to deal with a Broncos team that is extremely deep and dangerous. There's everything to play between two teams battling for Mountain West tournament position. Air Force Hoops on Altitude starts right now. The blue skies smile over the Air Force Academy, and for the final time this season, the Falcons take home court at Clune Arena as the Air Force Falcons host the Boise State Broncos on Senior Day. And good afternoon, everyone. I'm Justin Adams here with Gene Parker, and let's take you back to Wednesday afternoon, where the Air Force Falcons got off to a great start in the first half, scoring 43 points. Unfortunately, they only scored 20 in the second half, and they fell to San Diego State 66-63.
And that's really been the tale of the season for the Falcons. Put together a wonderful first half and then kind of falter in the second half.
All right, let's take a look at the Mountain West standings, and you see both Boise State and Air Force tied at 7th place, which means, Gene, this is a huge game for both teams.
Yeah, and it's all about the seeding in the Mountain West, because it builds their resume into the conference tournament and then hopefully getting them into the NCAA tournament.
Well, let's take a look at a couple of seniors for the Air Force Falcons. Started with Madison Smith, who has averaged almost 20 points a game in the last 5 games.
Yeah, and she lets the game come to her. She takes open shots, doesn't rush anything, and doesn't force anything down the stretch.
And on the opposite side, look at Joe Hunnemer, one of my favorite players. She has been fantastic this year, recovering from a knee injury and now second in the Mountain West in assists per game.
Yeah, and one of my favorite players as well. She really controls the emotion for the team and is just a floor general for the Falcons.
All right, now let's look at Boise State, and man, you cannot talk about this team without looking at Tatum Thompson.
Yeah, I mean, averaging almost 15 points a game and 14 blocks in this season, so look for the Falcons to try to stay away from her on the inside.
Yeah, that's what Boise State does on offense, but on defense, it's all about Abby Muse, who leads the team in blocks.
And she is just a solid force on the inside, so look for the Falcons to really drive in, kick out, and again, try to stay away from her in the blocks.
Without a doubt, let's see if the Air Force Falcons can be able to send out their seniors on a high note, or will it be Boise State going on the road and stealing the show? You know the drill. Come back right here to Clune Arena, where the Falcons take on the Boise State Broncos right here on Altitude Sports and Entertainment. Air Force basketball on Altitude is brought to you by Intermountain Health, helping people live the healthiest lives possible. All right, let's take a look at our starters as we get you ready for Senior Day at Clune Arena. And with that, let's go look at the Boise State Broncos. It is their starting 5. As you can see, Tatum Thompson leads the way. Keep an eye on Abby Muse, as we talked about, and Natalie Pasco. That young lady could score, averaging 12.5 points a game. She is dominant from deep. On opposite side, Melanie Perry, the leading scorer for the Air Force Falcons, averaging 15.5 points a game. And as we take a look at the coaches as well, let's start off with Boise State. As you see the Air Force Falcons in their blackout uniforms. Black tops and black bottoms with the black numbering, excuse me, the blue numbering, I should say. I like these jerseys. Gene, what do you think?
Yeah, they're very slick, especially on a Saturday to wrap up the season here at home and getting ready for conference play right after this.
Speaking of great coaches, how about Stacey McIntyre in her first year on the job, doing a fantastic job leading the Air Force Falcons to a nice start this season. Anytime you go 16-12 in your first start as a coach is always good, but 17-12 will feel a whole lot better for Coach McIntyre.
Always adding a win to the column is always great, and she's done a fantastic job. She's very defensively minded, but her staff around her does a good job bringing the offense to it as well.
Gordy Preshnell has been an institution, to say the least, at Boise State. 20th season on the job. He's been coaching for 38 years overall. And we're off at Clune Arena as the Broncos and the Falcons battle it out. A battle between two teams tied for 7th in the Mountain West. The Falcons want to get off to a really good start. They do so really in the first half. Again, scored 43 points against San Diego State. It's all about what happens in the second half for this team. O'Halloran with the floater. That's good. Nice start.
And a good job of the Falcons moving the ball side to side and being patient. Keely O'Halloran reading the defense there.
Holleran, one of the players that you really want to keep an eye on, has been shooting the ball pretty well the last couple of games. Really starting to come into her own. Really one of the things that Coach McIntyre talked about is we just want to see her play better. As that was off the front iron. Missed by Danny Bays. By the way, Maya Hansen for Boise State is out with an injury. Launching a three. Madison Smith for three.
And I believe Joe Huntemer got the assist on that. So the two seniors from the Falcons showing out in the first couple of possessions here.
A little senior on senior love right there to get things started. Falcons starting off fast, up 5-0. Natalie Pasco, she could score as well. Spinning around, shoots the floater, and gets the kind roll.
And that's something you'll have to live with Pasco. I mean, Jada McNabb playing fantastic defense, forcing a contested shot, and she's able to convert.
Well, you take a two-pointer over a three. Last year, she shot 39% from downtown. This year, she's shooting 43% from deep. Smith, she'll try again, and she'll get the same results. Madison Smith, back-to-back triples. Falcons up by 6.
And I think that was the first time I've ever seen Madison Smith smile during a game. So she just gave a quick smile after converting her second three of the game.
Well, Madison Smith scored 19 points in the first half against San Diego State, but only had 2 in the second half. Almost getting the steal. O'Halloran with the steal. Up court, Madison Smith thought about the three. Just shoot it in transition, why don't you? It's senior day. Okay, she'll do it. Oh, just a little too long. It was right on the money. Just couldn't find the change. Quick pass down low, tipped away and out of bounds. O'Halloran with a nice job defensively.
And we're seeing the Falcons play very well offensively, taking great shots. And then defensively, they're just getting into the Broncos and forcing their pace a little bit quicker than what they're comfortable with.
Boise State coming into this game with a 16-13 record as that shot misses absolutely everything. Missed by Danny Bays.
Now, I'm going to sound pessimistic here. Falcons are playing great so far. We're only 2 minutes into the game.
Right.
They have to continue this pace through the second quarter, third quarter, fourth quarter. So they just need to not let the highs get too high and lows get too low.
And you know, like what coaches say, taking one shot at a time. Played football, coach always says one play at a time, and Madison Smith says, just give me the rock every time down the court. She has 8 points.
You love that as a coach. You have simple game plans. Just give Madison Smith the ball and let her shoot.
Madison Smith on senior day. We're not even 3 minutes of this one. She already has 8. A nice take by Danny Bays, the junior from Australia. 10-4 is our score early on in this one. Both teams tied up at 6-10 in conference play. Milani Perry leading the team in scoring. She'll shoot it up over the outstretched arms of Addie News. Can't get it, but an offensive rebound and a foul as Jada McNabb will go to the line.
That was a great offensive possession for the Falcons because while Milani Perry drove in, everyone around her was moving. So that preoccupied the defense. And she takes a good shot, fadeaway, she can make that. And Jada McNabb just battling on the inside and getting fouled. That's what we want to see night in and night out from the Falcons. They're a little bit smaller, but they're scrappy and can grab those boards and convert the free throws.
Well, McNabb knocks home the first free throw. And Jada McNabb, she's averaging 7 rebounds a game. Think about that. That's just impressive.
And she's not tall in stature, but she does all the right things. And a lot of times we're not calling her name out in the broadcast aside from rebounds, but she is critical to this Falcons offense and defense.
Yeah, Gene, to your point, she's only 5'10". Well, if she was 6'10", she'll be unfair.
Yes.
Falcons up by 8 early on in this one. Battling out against Boise State. Nice double team. Kicking out, though. Wide open 3. That's good. Huge shot for Boise State to be able to go and get that one as Jada Clark gets the triple.
And Jo Huntemer, she's by design going down and doubling and bothering, but she just has to be aware of her goal, where her girl is, in order to come back out and close out.
Lonnie Perry with the take. Looked like that might have got swatted a bit. Now it leads out to a leak out and a shot. It is up and good and one.
And the Falcons bench is looking for a charge call there, but I think Jo Huntemer was just a little bit late and still moving once she got there. As we take a look at the replay here, unfortunately, I think that's the right call. She was just moving just a little bit. If she would have been there a half second earlier, gotten her feet set, she would have gotten that call.
Well, Natalie Pasco gets her first 2, and she'll go to the line to shoot the and one. Switching home. So it's a quick 5-0 run for Boise State as we'll have a substitution. And this is something that you'll see from both teams, where you see a lot of substitutions as O'Halloran will come out, and coming in for her will be Alexis Cortez.
And especially down the stretch of the season, I know these ladies are young. You know, they're 18 to 22 roughly, but gosh, after you've played over 30 games in a season, your legs really start to feel it.
It's one of the things, too, you're getting ready for conference play, or rather tournament play, as Madison Smith with the take, no good. Good job defensively by Danny Bays. But you always want to make sure that you're playing as best as you can. That's a nice move. Oh, it looks like it was a block. So that's going to be a foul as Alati Lalat will go to the free throw line. Alati Lalat is one of the players, too, for Boise State, who's really playing very well. As you take a look at the depth of Boise State, they have a lot of players that can score. And that's what's really frustrating for the Falcons is it's easy to scout the starting five, but when you bring in 3-4 different players off the bench who can contribute, that's where it gets difficult, especially for the players to remember, okay, what does number 23 do when she comes off the bench? What about this girl? What about that girl? So it just complicates the scout, and that's what makes the Broncos so dangerous. A lot of 47% free throw shooters, so anytime you see the number around there, it always makes sense that you make one and miss one. And that's exactly what she did. Now a 6-0 run for Boise State, make it 7-0 over the last minute. Falcons clinging to a 1-point lead, have led throughout in the first quarter. Hunter giving it to McNabb. Nice job by McNabb, and looks like a lot of contact. No call. They called out a block. As Thompson with the spin and a lay-in. Man, Tatum Thompson, her first two of the afternoon, and Boise State on top with a 9-0 run. And she got up the floor quick, so Air Force has to be aware of that. Maybe send one girl back anytime the shot goes up. Yeah, Tatum Thompson, one of those athletes that is really dangerous, 10th in the Mountain West in scoring. Madison Smith, she wants point number 10, and she gets in double figures. Maybe every day should be senior day for Madison Smith, huh? In the corner for three, off the front iron, and rebound. As Pasco misses the triple, quickly up court, Smith with a dozen. Wow, just fantastic. I think Madison Smith is in the right place at the right time right now, but also shooting fantastic for the game. Yeah, she's a magnet for buckets so far in this one. Ball's on the ground and stolen away by guess who? Number 4 in black. Smith slows it down, looks for some help, and gives it to Hunter. Back to Madison Smith. Shoot the three. And misses it off the front iron. I like that shot, though, in transition. Madison Smith is rolling. She's obviously scoring the majority of the points for the Falcons. Why not take that shot? Well, Tatum Thompson got herself to the rim, couldn't convert, but she will go to the line to shoot two. And the foul will be on Cortez. Well, fast start for both teams, but no one's doing better than number 4 in black, Madison Smith. With a dozen. Well, when I grow up, I want to play just like Madison Smith. 12 points, 5 of 8 from the floor, and 2 of 4 from downtown. And like we talked about in the pregame, she just lets the game come to her. She's passed up a couple of shots that she could have taken, but it would have just felt rushed. So she's just doing an excellent job of being in the right place at the right time. And Joe Hunter is helping her out a little bit, too, with some assists. Well, Joe Hunter so far with 3 assists. As you see, just a great numbers by Madison Smith. But like you said, it's not just about having a strong first half, but a strong second half, too. Boise State right there fighting back. They're down by 1 after the 2 made free throws from Tatum Thompson. 16-15 our score. Both teams tied in conference play. Battle between 2 teams in 7th place. So when you look at the Mountain West tournament, which will begin next week, you can see why these games are so important, because you want to have that matchup where you're 7-10. That's a nice move by Smith. Couldn't convert at the cup, as Cortez couldn't track that one down. And the Falcons fighting for those offensive rebounds, which I love. They are a smaller team, but they're scrappy and can get in there and get themselves extra possessions. And Cortez with the steal. There'll be a foul in the backcourt against Thompson. And Air Force, their identity all season long has been aggressive defense, and I like that they never go away from it and just stick to it. As we see, good ball movement here, and Alexis Cortez just in the right place, right time, great anticipation. They're very well coached by Coach McIntyre and just know when they can gamble, and that obviously paid off there, not only with a change of possession, but also a foul on the Broncos. How about that stat you see on the bottom? Air Force leads the Mountain West in steals per game, almost 11 steals a contest. They've had 12 games this season where they had 14 steals or more. And those are a lot of really fun games to watch.
if you're a Falcons fan.
Not bad for them. Hunterman goes down low, almost stole it away from Emily Adams. And in the corner, Adams gets to it, but then throws it away.
And I like the move of Joe Hunterman and Madison Smith getting back. We've seen how quickly the Broncos can get the ball off the floor, so just get back and stop their transition.
Lily Sharp with the steal. She has the ball now. Gives it to Lalott. Puts the big body on it, gets her own rebound, and gets the putback. I'll tell you what, Lalott. She scores almost 7 points a game. Very tough to stop.
Yeah, and if you're the Falcons, you have to get position early on defense to try and force her out and not let her inside the key.
Down by 1 point. Smith leading the way with 12. Being double teamed. You see the defensive pressure pick it up on her. Hunterman killing her dribble. Looking for some help. Needs to find it. Finally does with Smith. Smith goes to work. Nice move by Madison Smith. Oh, but can't convert. So back-to-back chances, had wide open shots at the cup. Wasn't able to go get the stop. And here comes Boise State in transition. And that is almost thrown away. Gotta get your hand in the face of Pascal. Kicks it out. Out of time on the shot clock. We'll see Boise State just restart their offense. Lead by 1. Now 9 seconds on the clock. Lalott with the shot will be a foul, and that will be on Air Force. Alexis Cortez will pick up a first.
Yeah, and Coach McIntyre just put her hands straight up in the air. I think if you're Alexis Cortez, you had the position. No need to go for the steal there. Try to take the charge or just force her further out and take a jump shot.
But just look at Joe Hunterman as well. This is a 2-on-1 chance. You see Hunterman with a nice defense.
And slows them down just enough. Boise State wants to outrun you and take quick shots in transition. So if you just stop them, force them to pull the ball back out, they're going to take a little bit longer to get into their offense, and you can settle into your defense.
First free throw missed. We're going to see a hockey change by Boise State after this. If Lalott can make it, as she does, and here we go. Well, take a look at the numbers on the court right now because they're about to change for the Broncos.
And like I said earlier, when you're guarding these hockey changes, which I love that term, you're guarding 4 completely different girls who are coming out. So they were looking to go inside earlier. They might look to go a 4-out, 1 in and try to stretch you out on defense. Like, this is what makes the Broncos so difficult to guard down the stretch.
On the court for the Broncos, Mary Kay Nero as well as Abby Muse. As we have a foul on the floor, and that will be against Mary Kay Nero. But also in the ball game, Taryn Gardner for the first time. As we see another substitution with Air Force, Melania Perry will come in and Joe Hunterman will come in.
Yeah, foul there by Mary Kay Nero, whose mom actually coached me for a year in high school.
Nice.
And coached her daughters at Beaverton High School. I believe won a state championship a few years ago. So great basketball family, and her daughters are all wildly talented at basketball.
What type of coach was she?
Oh, very hard, but very thorough. So I've had coaches like that throughout my entire career, and I don't mind it anymore.
It's kind of scared you to the broadcasting booth.
Yes, exactly. She told, I'm scared to say anything negative about her.
There's nothing negative about that shot. Jordan Devon with the triple.
And Jordan Devon is one of the most fun players to watch on the Falcons. She is so electric coming off the bench. She's really grown in her role as the 6th man.
Beautiful move, and the pass is knocked away by Devon. Trying to get that one to Danny Davis.
Yeah, and Jordan Devon brings energy on offense and defense. She can drive in, kick out, shoot threes on the offensive end, and you see here on defense, she's just quick there. Perfect timing, and just disrupts the Broncos.
Mid-range J no good from the baseline. Rebound by Melania Perry. Melania Perry so far in this ball game hasn't scored. A little bit surprising, especially from the leading scorer for the Falcons. Devon Smith with the head fake, the drive. Free throw J on the way. A little bit too long, so for Smith, starting out strong, she's now missed her last 3 field goal attempts.
Yeah, cooled off a little bit, and look for Jordan Devon and Melania Perry to kind of pick up the slack if Madison Smith falls into a shooting slump here.
Oh, you can't leave a player wide open. Corner pocket 3 rolls its way in. Taryn Gardner with the triple, her 25th of the season.
And the Broncos are doing a good job. Air Force is so focused on the girls on the inside that they're sucking in. These skip pass 3s are wide open every time on offense.
Boise State doing a pretty good job shooting from the floor. 58% now, 2 of 3 from downtown. Devon with the drive and gets it swatted out. Nice job defensively by Mary Kay Nero. We're talking about one of the seniors for Boise State doing a great job. Now 3 seconds on the clock. Got to get something up at the rim. Muse with the drive. Won't be able to get it up. And that'll be the end of quarter number 1. Well, the Falcons were able to get 12 points from Madison Smith, but pulled down a bit before the end of the first quarter, as the Boise State Broncos lead by 2 as they were 2 of 3 from downtown. This is the Power of We, presented by Intermountain Health, helping people live the healthiest lives possible. And if Stacey McIntyre can get a W today, then she will join 2 other greats in the first year of the job.
Yeah, and she's just done such a fantastic job, and she has been with the Air Force program for a very long time. The associate head coach for Coach G, who is actually here today. So Coach G set her up for success, but like I said, she is a defensive mastermind, and we've seen it all season long. They are so aggressive, and when other teams think they're gambling, they know it's a guaranteed steal or disruption. They're able to just throw teams off their game every single time.
Well, already for Air Force, they have 3 steals, and as we talked about earlier, they lead the Mountain West in steals per game, just a smudge under 11 steals per contest. As that pass will go out of bounds. Perry tried to get the entry pass.
And we've seen the Falcons towards the end of that first quarter, their offense kind of waver a little bit there. So I'm looking for Jordan Devon to get something going, just a spark drive in, and just Madison Smith and Milani Perry to post up or spot up 3 on the outside.
Well, that's one of the ways you can see defensively from the Air Force of how they do get steals. They are very, very active all the way around. That's a nice take and 1. Nice shot by Libby Hutton, the freshman, getting the job done.
And I think from an offensive perspective, the Broncos are playing very disciplined right now. So they are recognizing when Air Force is trying to gamble, or if they have a step on them, and taking advantage and driving in here, as we saw on that replay there. And they're able to get and 1. So Air Force needs to be a little bit more disciplined. If you're beat, peel off, let somebody else come and take your girl, and rely on your help side there.
For as strong of a start that Air Force had to get things going, Boise State has really just slowly not only climbed themselves back in this game, but now up by 5.
Yeah.
Perry gets an elbow.
And they've done a good job. I think they really settled in on defense. They recognize Madison Smith coming out hot out of the gate and saying, all right, well, let's just stop her. She's the biggest issue right now with 12 points. And I think the rest of the Falcons kind of have to rally around and understand Madison Smith can't score 75% of our points.
Kind of looks like the second half of the game in San Diego State, or against San Diego State a couple of days ago, where the Falcons had a great start, scored 43 points in the first half, and only could muster up 20. As that's a kickball. Look at the Falcons so far in this game. You have Madison Smith with 12, but Devon is the only other player with 3 points.
And you just see Emily Adams just telegraphing that pass to Keely O'Halloran just a little bit, allowing the Broncos to anticipate where they're going. So sometimes I think the players bog themselves down and telegraph what they're doing next, and even mediocre defenses can predict what they're going to do. So they have to be able to read the defense, react, and take shots that are wide open, just like Keely O'Halloran there. Right on cue.
O'Halloran says, yeah, I'll react to this. How about this triple? Beautiful shot by Keely O'Halloran, the sophomore, who is really coming to her own for deep as well. She scored 11 points against San Diego State. Already has 5 this afternoon. That ball goes out of bounds, but a little bit more on O'Halloran. She has made 10 threes coming into this game. She made 10 threes in the last 3 games. Take a look at Madison Smith.
Yeah, Madison Smith, she's just all over the place. Again, just anticipating. I think if Nero would have just pump faked inside, she would have had a wide open three there.
Spotting up for 3. Boise State trying to respond. No good by Denny Bays. Rebound by Madison Smith, who was cooled down from the 12 points she scored in the first quarter. Both the Falcons and Boise State tied up in conference play. Milani Perry with the mid-range J, no good, but guess who gets the rebound? McNabb, Hunterberg for 3. Oh, rolls in and out. That thing was halfway down and spit right back out.
Yeah, so unfortunate. Joe Hunterberg doesn't shoot that often, so you're always rooting for him to go in.
Well, this is a player who does shoot a lot. Mary Kay Nero with the miss. In transition, Smith Beautiful pump fake, gets the mid-range J and gets the kind roll.
And the Falcons, their defense, as we've talked about, is their identity, and it really fuels their offense. So they just gain this different kind of confidence when they get stops, they get turnovers, it relaxes them on the offensive end.
Well, Libby Hutton did everything right except for find a player to pass the ball to. She turned it over, but great job by Madison Smith yet again.
And letting the shot come to her. She could have rushed that three, probably still would have had a good chance of going in, but she read the defense perfectly and understood where she could take a better shot.
Falcons in this ball game shooting 42%, 9 of 21 from the floor. Boise State shooting 53%. So much for those defensive stats so far in this ball game. McNabb to Smith. Smith back to McNabb and try to kick it in the corner to Hunter. 10 seconds on the shot clock. And Keely O'Halloran for three, no good. But O'Halloran with such a quick release, it doesn't look like she's set, but she's just so fast when she releases the ball.
Yeah, and that's where she can be really dangerous for the Falcons. If she gets on a hot streak, she can, bring the Falcons back from a deficit or build on a lead fast.
And I tell you what, anytime the ball gets down to number 23, get out of the way, because she is a bucket waiting to happen. Alati Lalott with another 2 points. She has 6. Beautiful pass to McNabb. The lay-in off the window. Like to see that from Jada McNabb. She now has 4. A little give and go action this afternoon.
Yeah, it's just wonderful to see the ball movement on both ends of the floor with the Broncos and the Falcons. It makes it a lot more fun to watch.
This is really what you expect between two teams that are 7th in the Mountain West. That's Mary Kay Narrow. Knocks down the triple.
And the Broncos do such a good job of switching sides of the floor. They're really making the Air Force defense work and just wearing them down throughout the shot clock.
Nice tape by Milani Perry. That's just easy money for her. Her first 2 points of the afternoon.
You see the Boise State coaches kind of rolling their eyes. They know that's in the scout. They know that's what she wants to do, and they still allowed her to do it there.
Milani Perry with the kick save and the beauty. She has the kick ball there. We'll have a couple of substitutions. As coming in for the game is Natalie Pascal as well as Millie Sharp. But yet again, Milani Perry getting in the painted area.
And Milani Perry is so crafty. She loves driving into the middle, but she does a lot of stop and shoot around the free throw line. But there, she got even further into the paint, and it's just crafty after she leaves her feet.
Speaking of crafty, how about the steal from the senior, Madison Smith? Going through some traffic. O'Halloran with the layup, no good, and swats it out of bounds.
Yeah, and I think, Madison Smith is a fantastic shooter, and we've talked about her poise as a senior. And I think Keely O'Halloran is rapidly getting to that point, but you can just see here, she's just going a little too fast. She says, I got the shot, but not so much. So if she can just slow herself down just a little bit, she's going to be a much effective scorer.
Or maybe you could just miss a three, and then it finds the ball into the hands of Jada McNabb, and she lays it back in. I
think she did that on purpose. She should tell Coach McIntyre that she did that.
Just draw it up there, huh? As we almost had a turnover, Boise State still with it. Tatum Thompson. It's going to be ripped away. Madison Smith with the steal. Some sticky fingers at Clune Arena. And Madison Smith looking for some help. Finds some of Milani Perry. Mid-range J on the way. Nothing but nets.
And that is pretty much as close to automatic as you're going to get when you see from Milani Perry. Again, Madison Smith being the senior, slowing it down, not rushing it, giving it to Milani Perry, who does the same thing. Just gets into her shot. If it's there, she'll take it. If not, move on.
I was talking to Coach McIntyre before the game, and she knows that this is one where both of her seniors will have to step up and just needs her best players to play well to get a W in this one. And so far, looking good. Perry with a take. The harm, no call. Rebound to her hands, and that's easy money off the window.
Now the Falcons, they're doing a good job on offense, and a smart move by Boise State for the timeout, but they got to keep it rolling on the defensive end, too.
Well, the Falcons are rolling right now on an 8-0 run over the last minute and 34 seconds. Biggest lead of the day for Air Force, up by 5 on Senior Day at Clune Arena. Well, it's always a good day for the Air Force Falcons when you are getting some turnovers, and man, they are getting a whole lot of steals so far on this one. They are doing a great job so far from the floor. And it starts with this defense from Madison Smith.
Yeah, and like I said, Coach McIntyre has coached them so well that you see it on the broadcast, and if you're not used to watching the Falcons, you're kind of taken aback about how aggressive they're being. But their rotations on the weak side help them so much and allow people like Madison Smith to get into passing lanes, be aggressive there because they know they have help on the rotational side.
So far, the Falcons with 5 steals on an 8-0 run. As Boise State uses their first timeout, they have 3 remaining. Boise State, a senior-laden team, well, they know exactly where to go, and they do just that a lot with another 2 points.
And even with the help side defense from Madison Smith, she's able to go up strong through the defense. So Jada McNabb, she always has a challenge, but you have to push her as far as you can outside of the key in order to get a stop.
3-point bucket off the front iron by Joe Hunterman. A little bit of a hop and a skip by Jada Clark, the senior from Washington, loses the hammer.
And that's what the Air Force Falcons defense does to you. I mean, that's the first time the Broncos have really thrown it away just directly out of bounds. But they're so sped up and they're so tired at this point that they're already losing their fundamentals a little bit.
Good thing the scorer's table right there, because the ball went right in front of us.
We almost got assaulted by that ball.
Look, man. I tell you what, workman's comp does wonders this time of year. 34-31's our score. Oh, Holleran with the head fake. Missed that one, but the rebound, the hands, it's a tie-up. And that one will go with the Air Force Falcons as the Bird joining me at the scorer's table. What do you think about that last shot, huh?
He's got nothing to say.
Yeah, got nothing to say. You know what? You know, the Bird would have been down there to get that. You would have got the rebound, right? Yeah. That's exactly what he would have done. 34-31's our score. The Bird, take us to break, my man. What do you think? We have a timeout on the floor. Well, let's take a look at some of the rebounding numbers as the Bird flew the nest. It has flew away from the scorer's table, and we can see both teams doing a great job getting a rebound, especially Boise State.
Yeah, and they, I mean, averaging 11 offensive rebounds per game for both teams. That means they're crashing the boards hard, and that's giving both of them a challenge on the defensive end. They really have to focus and box out because 4 to 5 girls every single time are trying to grab that offensive board.
Jada McNabb is really the reason why the offensive rebounding is the way that it is. But what is it about Jada McNabb that really sets her up well to get those rebounds?
I think she's constantly moving once the shot goes up. She's not sitting there and trying to out-muscle anybody. She just says, well, you may be bigger and taller than me, but I'm usually faster than you, so let me just go around you instead of trying to go through you.
And I love how you talk about it's always the positioning as you take a look at Gordy Preshnell, and you get to see with Gordy, he's always saying, okay, what can we do with our team that's been very successful with Boise State? But anytime you see McNabb around the basketball, number 10, again, it's position. She never stays where she's at. So even if you try to box her out, you have to continue to move your body in order to stop her from getting the basketball.
And even if she doesn't get the basketball, she's occupying one of the best rebounders on the opposing team. So that opens it up for Jordan Devon, Madison Smith, Keely O'Halloran to get in there and grab the ball. And a lot of times you might see the ball bounce a little bit and somebody else go in and snag it. So that's what's most frustrating for the Broncos right now.
We've seen the referees right now. They met at the monitor for a little bit, and they're having a conversation. Don't even know exactly why. Maybe it could have been something that happened in the last play where both teams are going after that loose ball.
Yeah, I think they're probably reviewing who the ball went out on, and a lot of times they'll go back to the clock to make sure the shot clock and the game clock is correct. So, yeah, I never envy referees for their job. I would just make it up and just stick with whatever call I did.
Well, let's go take another look. Both Lalott as well as McNabb were on the floor. It doesn't look like anything was, other than McNabb's leg finding the face of Lalott.
Yeah.
But other than that, I don't see anything out of the ordinary.
And I think they called a jump ball, and the possession arrow is with Air Force right now.
Right. Well, no harm, no foul. 3:10 remaining in the second quarter. Both teams shoot at a high clip. O'Halloran for 3. This is that one. Holleran missing the last couple of threes. Now 1 of 5 from downtown.
No, but she can heat up so quickly that you want her to continue to shoot. Even if she goes, 7 for 20 from the field, that 7 baskets can rack up quick.
Pascal with 2 points. Does a little window shopping. They're tight yet again, 34-33. Hunterman. Giving it up to O'Halloran, mid-range J, just a little bit too long. So O'Halloran getting some really good looks, just can't knock them down.
Really good looks, and if you're a coach and you just review the film and look at the shots she's taking, you're happy with all of them. Now, as a shooter, it can kind of mess with you for a little bit if you go, 4 or 5 shots without making one, but you have to keep shooting. And if it comes to the point, just kick out and give it to somebody else.
How do you encourage your players to keep shooting, even though they may be missing something?
Yeah, you just tell them that you continue to have confidence and then don't get down on them for those missed shots, as we see Jordan Devon taking a fantastic charge there. As we're looking here at the replay, slides over, and she is clearly set. That is fantastic help side defense by Jordan Devon.
5'6" sophomore from Little Elm, Texas. She'll check out of the game and might need an ice pack as well.
Yeah, might have gotten the wind knocked out of her there.
That is team foul number 2 on Boise State. Haven't seen a lot of fouls called in this ballgame.
No, it's been pretty clean, and I think both teams are aware of that and just have their hands up. And again, something the Air Force Falcons do well. They gamble a lot, but they don't get a ton of fouls.
Falcons haven't scored in a while. Scoring drought over the last 2 minutes and 10 seconds. They have missed their last 5 field goal tries as the 3 is missed. Only Sharp couldn't get that one to go. Falcons still by 1. Smith stepping back. Probably if it was the first quarter, she would have shot that one deep.
Definitely.
Perry finding her way to the rim. Couldn't get the kind roll.
And Jada McNabb almost had another rebound there. Just mistimed her jump. And Madison Smith, again, coming away with the steal.
And leads to a mid-range J. And good for the Falcons. Perry now with 8 points. And that steal, I think number 5 for Perry. So we'll keep an eye on that number. Either way, the Falcons up by 3. That's the only number that matters. And almost stolen away from Sharp. And poked away from Natalie Pascal. By the way, 6 steals overall for the Air Force Falcons. Let's take a look at Smith. And this comes off of a miss, as just Smith never giving up on the play.
And she's so sneaky because it looks like she's drawing back and meet the player at half court, but she just sticks with it and is so quick to get back into the lane.
Mid-range J, no good. Nice rebound by Muse, and she'll be fouled on the floor.
And this is where the Falcons can kind of get into a little bit of trouble. They have a knack. Every player has a knack for the ball. But they should have just stayed straight up there, because sometimes they just come down with it, and we'll see the foul here in a second. Just, they're up. Keeley tries going for it. I think a light foul, but a foul nonetheless.
Thompson. And a block. That's going to be a foul on McNabb, and McNabb does not like the call. And for Jada McNabb, that's foul number 2. You start to look at the numbers. O'Halloran has 2. Jada McNabb also has 2 fouls, and Cortez with 2.
Oh, and I think Thompson may have sold that one a little bit. I think Jada probably got her on the arm just slightly, but in the act of shooting, so we got 2 free throws.
Taylor Thompson, one of the top free throw shooters, shooting 81%. She now has 5. By the way, that stops a 2-minute and 2-second scoring drought for Boise State. So both teams have had droughts in this ball game. And it's a 1-point lead for the Falcons. They have a 2-for-1 opportunity if they can get into their offense a lot sooner. Smith with 14. Back it away down. Looking for an opening. Shoots it up, and it's blocked away by Abby Muse.
And that's where the Falcons, they can get a little bit sloppy. They think shots are there, and you have somebody who's about 6'3" coming out of nowhere blocking them.
Abby Muse doing a fantastic job this season, leading the Broncos in blocks. About a 3-second difference between the game clock and shot clock. See what Boise State would like to do, down by 1. There's the drive, the mid-range chain off the side of the rebound. Nice block, and then it should be a shot clock violation. It is. But I think Boise State says, wait a minute, that actually hit the rim. So Natalie Pascal had the take, and they're saying that actually hit off the rim. With 3.5 seconds remaining, you can be the judge at home. That's off the side of the backboard. It is blocked away, and then...
tough from that angle. It looks like it may have just hit the backboard. If I'm Air Force, get the ball and quickly and go.
Here comes Milani Perry with a couple of seconds left. Launches it up, and it's good! Milani Perry with the triple right before halftime. Beats the buzzer as the the Falcons are now up by 4. What a shot. And what a way for the Falcons to be able to go to halftime, leading by 4, 39-35 on a triple by Perry. Air Force up by 4, 39-35 over the Boise State Broncos on Senior Day. And guess what? We have a special guest for halftime. We got the Bird. The Bird is here, huh?
He's had a lot to say. He's had a lot to say, let me tell you.
Justin Adams with Gene Parker. All right, Bird, what do you think about the first half? That's right.
It's good.
That's right.
There we go.
Yeah. Hey.
We're going to go to the NCAA tournament.
Come on, man.
He's predicting Sweet 16 for the Falcons.
Hey, how about we just make it happen all the way through? Because the Bird likes it. You know what, Gene? We like what we saw in the first half, too, especially from Madison Smith.
Especially at the beginning of the first quarter. My gosh, I didn't think she was ever going to slow down, was going to have 20 points in the first half, but she was all over the place, just knocking down shots left and right, and her teammates were looking for her, too, and she was just at the right place at the right time.
Yeah, scoring 14 points, was very dominant in the first half. Also was knocking down some threes, too, 2 of 4 from downtown with 3 rebounds and 3 assists. But Boise State slowly climbing themselves back into this one.
And, of course, this is the Air Force weakness. They're a little bit smaller, so Boise State trying to go on the inside, but also knocking it down from the outside, too, so really stretching that Air Force defense.
Well, you look at what Boise State is doing, 3 of 7 from downtown, 12 of 23 from the floor. But, again, it's Air Force doing everything they can, like Jenna McNabb with a nice putback.
Yeah, and they did a good job of bouncing back when they got down a little bit, let the Broncos back into the game, and Milani Perry, it always helps when the last-second shots go in just before halftime.
Milani Perry with 11 points to match the 14 in double figures for the Air Force Falcons from from Madison Smith, rather. And as we look at the first half statistics, one of the things that really stands out for me are what the Falcons are doing when you look at the turnovers. 11 turnovers by Boise State, only 2 for Air Force. That's one of the main reasons why they're still up in this ballgame.
And Air Force has 11 assists. I mean, you look at the assist to turnover ratio, just fantastic. And Boise State is still shooting over 50% from the field. So Air Force is doing a fantastic job on the defensive end.
All right, the Bird has to lead with the Bird going away. It leads us to a couple of things. The Bird's right there. Okay,
he's back.
Bird.
He's back.
Quickly, Bird. What do the Falcons have to do in the second half to win this game?
Rebound.
Yes, there you go. Shoot. Okay.
Shoot and make baskets.
Make baskets. You know what? That is actually a good point, because remember last time against San Diego State in the last game, the Falcons only scored 20 points. That has to change the second half.
They just have to stick to their defense. That really fuels their offense. So just keep getting in passing lanes and let it drive their offense.
All right, and for Boise State, what do they need to do to get the W?
Just crash the boards and keep going inside. That's where they've been dominant.
Well, the Bird wants to see a W. We know you do as well. Second half coming up next. Well, you know we always love Senior Day, and we had 2 fantastic seniors playing their final game at Clune Arena today.
And they have just been such a pivotal part of this program and just been such a solid force for the Falcons for the past 4 years. So it's great seeing them honored. They got their families here, and you know, they're both playing very well today as well, so that's always great to see.
You can see just the teammates gathering around them. And so far, Madison Smith with 14 points and Huntermer also with 5 assists. Just another day in the ballpark for both of them.
Yeah, just a very, very casual day for the seniors here.
Almost stole it away immediately. That's exactly what the Falcons like to do. Continue to apply that pressure. 6 steals in the first half. Almost had number 7.
And a good way to start the second half with a turnover with 0 seconds coming off the clock.
Again, it's all about that second half offense for Air Force, and almost stolen away. It is stolen away by Madison Smith. My goodness, Smith is just all over the place. Points, rebounds, assists, kick out, Smith for 3. Oh, just missed that one. Did just about everything but knocked down the triple.
Yeah, I mean, got the steal, got the ball up the floor, and then spotted up in just the right spot.
Boise State in the first half, we're shooting 52%. So they're getting some good shots at the rim, knocking them down once they get them too. Mid-range J on the way. Tatum Thompson thought she was fouled, no call. Misses absolutely everything. Leads to a break that's stolen away by Thompson. Tried to get that one to Madison Smith. Good thought, just couldn't execute.
Wow, this this half has come out with quite the pace. I mean, I think we've seen 3 or 4 possessions, and we're just only a minute in.
Oh, Mary Kay Nero couldn't knock home the 3 and the rebound. And foul as Abby Muse will go to the line to shoot 2.
And in that instance, Abby Muse able to grab the rebound, but that was because Jada McNabb and her teammates weren't able to push her out of the key, and she got great positioning there. So you have to do the work early, box her out as soon as the shot goes up, and that makes it a lot more challenging for her. Now, when she does grab the rebound, you have to go straight up, or else it's going to be a long day if you foul her every time she grabs the ball.
I think it also helps that you're 6'3".
Yes, it definitely does, and that's why they have to push her out really, really early in order to prevent her height from being such a big advantage.
Quick substitution. It looks like Milani Perry will come out, and nope, Milani Perry stays in. Trying to see because of that O'Halloran will come out. Look at that O'Halloran. She now has 3 fouls. So a player now in foul trouble. And you look at one of the shooters for Air Force. You don't want her to be missing from your lineup.
Yeah, and you hate to see her go out, but you have Alexis Cortez coming in who provides a little bit more size, a lot of athleticism, so that can really change up how Air Force is playing on offense and defense.
Madison Smith with the miss. Ball knocked out right to Boise State. Quickly up court. Corner 3. That's good. 3-point shot made by Danny Bays in place for Maya Hansen this afternoon. Knocks down that triple. She now has 5. Boise State leading by 1. A back and forth game we're seeing at Clune Arena. 7th time we had a lead change. Double team Smith. There'll be a foul on Tatum Thompson.
Yeah, and we're kind of seeing the tables turn here on defense. Boise State coming out with a lot of pressure off of this screen, and it's a smart move. Let's double Madison Smith. We've seen her go off in the first half. We don't want her to do it in the second half and build on their lead, which has now been erased, but smart move and kind of caught Madison Smith off guard a little bit.
You don't want to say that it just comes down to 2 players scoring, but Milani Perry only with 11. Smith with a nice drive, gives it to Cortez, has a free shot at the rim, blocked away by Tatum Thompson. Well, there you go again. You're talking about the defense by Boise State. Thompson on the opposite end, can't get the kind of roll.
And they got up the floor quick, so Air Force has to be aware of that's exactly what they're trying to do. Steal the ball, get up in transition, and shoot a basket within 10 seconds of grabbing the ball.
Talk about a collision. How about that?
Yeah.
Jada McNabb.
Physical game.
Hunterman, the senior, knocks home the triple.
And a lot of people are happy to see that ball go through the net and Joe to score here on senior day.
Trying to respond back is Boise State. Mary Kay Nero. A little wild off the rim. And here comes Madison Smith. A 2-on-3. Smith doesn't care. Puts her head down and will go to the line to shoot 2.
And another senior move right there. She's not shying away from contact. She goes directly into it knowing she's either going to make the basket or get the call. Just goes head down, head full of steam. That's really hard to guard and stop. So good move by Madison Smith and got herself to the line for 2.
Now, by the way, on Boise State, that's on Natalie Pasco. And for Pasco, that is her 2nd personal foul. So you put Madison Smith to the free throw line, and she'll knock home the first one. Madison Smith, the reigning Mountain West Player of the Week. Just has been dominant, averaging 20 points a game in the last 5 games. Right now she has 16. So 4-point lead for the Falcons. At one point, they led by 6. That was their biggest lead of the ball game, and it's almost stolen away. It is stolen away. It will be a foul in the backcourt, and the Falcons will have the rock.
And the Broncos are lucky there. If Alexis Cortez could have gotten a handle of that ball, she would have gotten it to Madison Smith very quickly. But again, Alexis Cortez has a little bit of length to her. She's very athletic, can get into passing lane. So there's no drop off from the defensive end. It just changes up how the Falcons are playing on the offensive end because Alexis Cortez is not as a prolific 3-point shooter as Keely O'Halloran.
Yeah, Cortez 5'11". So you talk about that height, also the length that she brings to the table. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Madison Smith with 16. Looking to get 2 more, and she'll do just that. Easy. Shot off the window for 2.
She's so dynamic. Even if she's not shooting well from 3 or you take that away from her game, she can get into the inside and get to the basket.
And Cortez knocks the ball away. Finds itself into a white uniform. Boise. Look at her. Stop the 7-0 run by the Falcons. It is poked away. Hunterman with a nice job defensively. And Gordy Preshnell, the head coach of the Boise State Broncos, can't believe it. Might see a timeout for Boise State if the Falcons can be able to convert here. Hunter knocked down a three a couple of possessions ago. And it'll be stolen away, trying to get it to Milani Perry. Don't see that happen too often. Well, Hunter turns over the rock. Now it goes down to Muse. Muse with the move, gets it to go.
And again, Jada McNabb, she has to do her work a lot earlier and stop her around the free throw line to prevent her from getting directly on the block.
Abby Muse with 4 points, also has 4 rebounds. Smith with a nice take and gets it to go. Madison Smith.
And coming off the screen, that's what the Falcons should keep going after, because Boise State has shown that they're struggling a little bit to guard it. So keep going back to that, to Madison Smith, because again, she's so dynamic. She can take you off the bounce. She can shoot threes. She's great coming off the screen.
And a miss by Boise State as Denny Bays couldn't get it to go. We have a tie-up. And the possession arrow going away of the Falcons. Let's take another look. Yep, there's your tie-up.
Clear tie-up there.
Hunter getting into the weeds to grab that one. So now you see Jada McNabb as well as Milani Perry go to the bench. And coming in will be Jordan Devon as well as Emily Adams.
And I think these next couple minutes for the Falcons are critical, because they can really build upon the lead that they have, or they can let the Broncos come back into this game. And I think rolling into the Mountain West tournament, you want to feel comfortable and confident that when you're rolling, that you can keep that run going and build on good happenings. Jordan Devon blocked right on cue. I'm having the opposite of the commentator's curse today. This is great.
Well, we need you all the time then, right? A triple made by Air Force, and they lead by 9. Their biggest lead of the afternoon, leading 51-42 on a 12-2 run over the last 2 minutes and 45 seconds. Falcons looking to keep the momentum going. We'll come right back. Falcons up by 9, and one of the main reasons why is because of Madison Smith. She has 20 points in this ball game. You know, she's the reigning Mountain West Player of the Week. She's looking to do it again for back-to-back weeks.
Yeah, and she's just so tough to stop because she's so dynamic. And not only is she a great offensive player, but she's a fantastic defensive player as well. So she is just all over the floor constantly. You have to worry about her on both ends. And obviously she's doing a fantastic job today with 20 points, but also just disrupting, I would say 50% of the defensive possessions that she's been involved with.
20 points, 5 steals. Not a bad day.
And shooting just under 50%.
Oh, by
Pretty
the way,
good.
Yeah, we still have a quarter and a half left. Justin Adams and Gene Parker with you. As always, thank you for joining us on Altitude Sports. As Boise State couldn't respond back, trying to chase down the rebound. Going into the backcourt to get it is Lorovich. By the way, Lindsay Lorovich, you don't see a lot of her. This is her 14th game she's played, and we have a whistle. And
I think they may be taking a look at the shot clock here, because I don't think there was a clear change of possession to warrant the shot clock being reset to 30 seconds. So they may go to the monitor and take a look, or they may not.
I think they're going to change it to 14.
Media timeout here.
Well, we'll take the timeout right along with them, and we'll see if the shot clock's going to change. But you know what's not changing? The Falcons up by 9 with 4:22 to go in this one. Falcons up by 9. Boise State using their second timeout. Have 2 remaining. Boise State so far looking for some help in the worst way. Got to go and get some scoring. Outscored by 5. And that's one way to do it, getting down to the painted area where Lottie the Lot goes to work.
That's pretty much been automatic for the Broncos all day long, so I won't be shocked if they continue to go to that for the rest of the game.
She's first playing double figures for Boise State with 10. And it all starts with getting the ball on one side of the court, swinging it around, and going to the opposite side as the ball was almost knocked away by Devon, who was able to go and get it back. Feels like a bigger lead for the Falcons than what it is right now, and that's a long shot, a little bit of an errant shot to say the least. And Devon points to her chest and says, "Hey, I get it." Probably not the best shot right there.
Yeah, and it's a seven-point lead here but that can be erased so quickly. So the Falcons just have to be aware of that. They shouldn't milk the clock, continue to be aggressive, but just know that the Broncos can claw their way back into the game.
And it looked to do it probably in the paint. We'll see what happened this time around as Emily Adams is on a lot. You got to do your work early. And that leads to a wide open three, and it rolls out.
And good possession there by Emily Adams, doing her work early on Lalott, especially as soon as the shot went up, she was already boxing out and pushing her back.
Jada Clark with a really good look. I have a feeling that those shots are going to be there for Boise, so you just say, hey, we continue to go to that in our offense. Madison Smith with the head fake. Oh, nice drive by Madison Smith, changing gears and getting that one to go.
And shout out to Emily Adams for getting out of the way and going out to the three-point line and bringing Lalott out and allowing Emily Adams to drive the lane.
She now has 22. Good job defensively also by Smith, this time on Lorovich. Now to Tatum Thompson, and Thompson gets it poked away, and it's going to be a foul, and the foul will be on Boise. So you talk about turnovers being an issue. They're starting to pile up now. That's turnover number 15 on the Broncos.
And Alexis Cortez, just fantastically quick hands on this, just disrupting Thompson off the dribble. And Jordan Devon doing a good job and being aware of it and getting to the ball first.
Falcons on the floor. Milani Perry, Hunter, Adams, Cortez, and Madison Smith, who launches the three. Missed that one. A little too short. That'll be a foul on Madison Smith as Courtney Preshnell is upset on the bench.
And Madison Smith just getting a little too anxious there on the defensive end. A good shot for her on the offensive end I really like, but she needs her teammates' help to crash those boards, especially with a long three.
First personal foul on Smith, also the second team foul on Air Force. A little bit surprised that the Falcons don't get called for more fouls, but the way that they play defense, it's always going after the ball. You got to make sure that you protect the rock with a nice baseline take. No good by Mary Kay Narrow, who blows the layup. Boise State in this game shooting 45%, excuse me.
Yeah, no, and the Falcons, they do go after the ball. They don't body check people a whole lot, so that's where I'm sure teams get very frustrated. Even when you think it's a foul, it's not, and the refs don't blow the whistle very often on them.
Boise State in the scoring drought for the last 2 minutes and 10 seconds. Falcons looking to go up by double digits for the first time this afternoon. It does just that on a midi by Milani Perry.
Milani Perry, automatic from mid-range. It's incredible.
Look at her respond back. It's Boise State. Look at that triple by Natalie Pascal.
And again, the Falcons let them get into their offense really quickly. So I would like to see some soft pressure by them in the backcourt just to slow down the Broncos just a little bit. Hunter
looking for some help. Finally gets it. Emily Adams with the baseline J.
And that's what you need from the Falcon players off the bench. Just being prepared to shoot, being in the right place at the right time.
Don't see Emily Adams shoot a lot, but anytime she does, good things generally happen. Just averaging 3.4 points a game. 29th appearance this season. Mary Kay Narrow for three. Line drive shot no good. Rebounded deep for Boise State. And the take and kicking it out. A little bit of shot there by Libby Hutton. 9 seconds on the shot clock. Now get to Lalott. And Lalott, that will be a foul on Air Force as Madison Smith goes down to hard.
And thankfully for Madison Smith, I think that will only be her second foul, but just to be aware of that going into the fourth quarter. I think she's doing a good job on defense. She's just gotten a little bit fatigued here, so I think the break at the quarter will help her get back to it. But she is battling on the inside and just got a little greedy there. I would have liked to see her slide and maybe try and take a charge there.
Well, so you say just slide. Would that be the thing you'd like to see defensively?
Yeah, I mean, you're not really going to block her. So just do the best you can, contest. If she makes a shot, oh well, you need to play better defense sooner. So it's really hard, especially when you're undersized and you're very tempted to try and just swat the ball out quickly.
Lalott misses both free throws, so we call that a good foul in the business.
It's a smart foul. Now I look like an idiot.
There you go. No, you're not an idiot. Just an Army grad, that's
Just
all.
an Army grad.
15 seconds on the game clock. as the third quarter has been dominated by Air Force, outscoring Boise State by 6, looking for more. Perry with the ball, the drive, the mid-range shot is good. Oh, Milani Perry back-to-back trips, back-to-back J's, and that's the way the third quarter was up to a close. The Falcons outscoring Boise State by 8 points in the third quarter. They now lead by 12 on Senior Day, looking for win number 17 on the year. 10 minutes away. Come back for quarter number 4 on Altitude Sports.
That's great.
Madison Smith is having a day she will remember. 22 points, 7 rebounds, and 3 assists as the Falcons lead by 12.
And she's, I mean, what more can you say? Just look at the stat line and being all over the place on defense as well. And she is just giving the Broncos an absolute headache.
Well, the Broncos are having a headache on the floor as well. 15 turnovers, Air Force only with 4. But it's all about finishing the game for the Falcons in the last game against San Diego State. We're up by 10. Couldn't close that one out. And Boise State with a good start. Natalie Pascal with 3.
And Boise State, they're playing well today. They're shooting well. So, again, Air Force has to close the door quickly on them in this quarter. They can't allow them to hang around only being down 4 to 5 points. Keep it at double digits where you're comfortable, and that allows you to roll into the offense, take your time, taking shots. Let Milani Perry just shoot mid-range jumpers the rest of the game, and I think you'll be all right.
Pretty good offense there for Air Force. 17 points from Milani Perry. Boise State, nice take. The shot off the window, no good. Defensive, an offensive rebound rather. And scooping it up was Hutton. And almost stole it away. Muse. And almost stole away again by Adams. Pascal with the mid-range J, no good. Rebound off the hands of Adams twice, and he goes out of bounds.
And stays with the Broncos, and yeah, Falcons all over the place. It's almost stolen, almost stolen. I feel like that's all we've been saying all game, but they're just all over the place. And yep, Emily Adams just tipped it out. Good call there.
Pascal with the ball. And the drive, and another steal. Boise State wants a foul, not getting the call as Milani Perry with the steal. Look at the future of Air Force basketball, and Perry will take over the reins, especially with Madison Smith graduating.
Yeah, it'll turn to Milani Perry, Jordan Devon taking the place of Joe Huntemer. I mean, you hate to see him go, but they've been, again, such a staple here at Clune Arena for so long.
Nice defense by Boise State, and the steal by Gardner. Really, really good defense that time down the floor, but then throws the ball away.
And that's what the Falcons can do. They give you the ball on the defensive end and then force you into a turnover on the offensive end. That's what makes them such a pain to deal with. They're so good on both ends of the floor. You cannot fall asleep.
61-50 is our score. 8 minutes remaining in the ball game. Falcons looking for win number 17. A game between two teams tied up at 7th in the conference. For 3, O'Halloran, no good. A little early in the shot clock. O'Halloran has pulled off immensely. Now 2 of 5, or 2 of 9 rather, from the floor, and it'll be a foul on the floor against the Falcons.
And I think that was a foul on Emily Adams. Again, most of the post players, actually all of the post players on Air Force, they're a little bit undersized. So when you're undersized, you usually have a speed advantage. So I would have liked for her to release and go around and try to knock that ball out, or just immediately go behind and contest the shot. You can't be in between.
For Boise State, who do you get the ball to? How about Mary Kay Narrow? She hit a 3 earlier. Just too strong on that one. Rebound by Adams.
I think you just take a quick look inside every single time you get the ball. Just see if something's there, because I think that is still going to be the way you get back into this game.
Well, Perry zipped a pass into the body of Emily Adams. The only problem, Adams wasn't ready to catch it.
Yeah, I think she's a little bit fatigued here. I mean, the post players for Air Force, they're having to work their butts off on defense. So it's almost like they get a break on the offensive end, but if you're open, you got to be ready for the ball.
It's interesting where you may be open physically, but then you're tired, and so when the ball comes your way, well, it just goes out of bounds. Falcons up by 11, make it up by 9 now. A beautiful shot by Muse. And she get the and one.
And this is what I'm talking about. We're just letting the Broncos hang around, where you play good defense, give up an and one right there. If you're going to foul them hard enough that they don't get the shot off or they don't have a chance for an and one. Now, that's not saying commit a flagrant foul or anything like that, but at least prevent them from getting an and one and getting 3 points on you instead of just 2.
Well, Muse completes the and one with the free throw. She now has 7. It's an 8-point game. This is an important possession here for the Falcons. And the scoring drought for the last 2 minutes and 7 seconds. Kicks it out. Hunter for 3. Off the front iron. And the scoring drought will continue for the Falcons. Boise State looking to take advantage. Mary Kay Narrow looking for someone to get the ball to. Does so in the painted area. Has the advantage. And Muse misses the easy shot.
That is a shot she should have made, but good decision there by Mary Kay Narrow to get the ball inside. She's recognizing that she has the advantage and has really good position.
It looks like she rushed the shot a little bit.
Yeah, I think so too, and just kind of was a little shocked at her positioning.
Well, not rushing the shot at all. It's Madison Smith. Another triple, her 3rd of the afternoon.
And Madison Smith does a good job of moving off the ball and giving herself an opportunity to get those shots on.
Oh, Tatum Thompson coming right on back and getting the and one opportunity. Nice shot by Thompson. She now has 8. Let's go back to the 3-pointer by Madison Smith.
Emily Adams doing a good job of keeping her head up. And again, Madison Smith dropping down just enough to be in the line of sight.
And then on the opposite end, Tatum Thompson with the take. And Keely O'Halloran, the foul is on her, so that's her 4th, but she'll have to take a seat. So O'Halloran leaves the game with just 5 points, 4 fouls, and 23 minutes of work. So playing an and one is Thompson. Battle between 2 teams tied for 7th in the Mountain West. Hunter, baseline drive, and gets it to Perry. Perry looking for some help. Gets the screen she wants. Mid-range G on the way and makes it again. Milani Perry with 19.
And the reason why that mid-range jumper is always open for her is because she's a threat going to the basket. So players have to guard her that way, and she just stops and pops on a dime.
Tatum Thompson with the pass, and it's out of bounds. Another turnover by Boise State. That is turnover number 18 on the Broncos.
This is where the Falcons can put this game away. If they go up 12, have another good defensive possession, and then score again, that's where you can really solidify and take a breath, not relax, but take a breath and understand that you're in control of the game.
Well, this is a player that you want the ball, her hands on the ball. Perry spinning around. Oh, man, that's just easy money. Oh, that's like taking candy out of the candy jar. Easy money for Perry.
So she makes it look so easy. I know the Broncos are playing defense, but Perry makes it look easy.
Well, you got to go and box out. Tatum Thompson had a wide open mid-range shot, missed it, and got her own rebound. Puts it back to keep the Broncos in range. Falcons up by 10, 68-58. Final home game of the year for the Falcons on Senior Day. Madison Smith, one of the 2 Falcons, has the ball, who is a senior. And the foul will be on Air Force as Alexis Cortez will pick up the foul. That will be her 3rd personal foul. But the Falcons lead it by 10 with 4:44 remaining in this one. Well, you know what's better than being good? How about being perfect, especially in the second half? Milani Perry with 10 points, 5 of 5 from the floor in the second half. She also has 21 points.
And we didn't talk a lot about her in the first half, kind of wondering, all right, when she's going to catch fire. And she's doing that at the right time here in the 4th quarter. We talked a lot about how they kind of, Air Force faded away in the second half against San Diego State. But Milani Perry is willing them to keep the lead and keep the Broncos at bay. So that is a very senior move, or mature move by Milani Perry.
How about a good sophomore move? Because we saw that steal from Jada McNabb. And she gives it to a senior, who gives it to a junior and lays it in. Nope, no good by Perry. Probably one of the easier shots that Milani Perry has had today. Leads to a transition three. Would be big for Boise State? You bet it is. Denny Bays with the triple.
Now down to 7 if you're the Falcons. Take your time. Like, the clock is slowly turning into the enemy of the Broncos. So take your time. Continue to be aggressive, especially on the defensive end.
Really a 5-point swing if you think about it. Could have been up by a dozen and you missed that shot. Now's not the time, though, to slow down offensively. Hunter being guarded by Lalott. Looking for someone to get the ball to. There's Cortez that is poked away. Nice job defensively by Boise State. Down by 7. Looking to be down by 4. And Bays couldn't make the 3. Fortunate for the Falcons right there as the ball goes into the hands of Madison Smith.
Unfortunate they're such a good defensive team that they're able to rush those shots there for the Broncos.
Air Force shooting 47% in the game. Perry with 21, looking for more. Oh, easy shot for her. Gets the kind roll. Perfect in the second half. Excuse me, no, she missed one shot. She now has 23, though.
And the shot that she missed was a layup, so I think she was just a little too close to the basket. She needs to take a couple steps back, and she'll be good.
Mary Kay Narrow missed the 3. Lalott with a huge rebound. Kicks it out for 3. That's off the front iron. A miss by Danny Bays. You can start to slow things down if you're in black.
Slow things down. Only take great shots. You can maybe set a rule of, hey, don't shoot unless there's 10 seconds left on the shot clock or something to that effect. But just run a couple set plays, get Milani Perry, Madison Smith involved, and you'll probably be okay.
Smith with 25. The drive, step through. No good. Nice job defensively, and it'll be a foul in the backcourt. Is that a jump ball?
Jump ball.
Ooh.
I think Madison Smith gave a little bit of a smile there, saying, thank goodness they didn't call a foul on me.
Well, that would have been the Falcons' 15th foul, so that would have led to free throws.
Yeah, and that's a really good point. That's where the Broncos can get back into this game. They're only down 9, only a 3-possession game, now 4-possession game. Right on cue. Right on cue.
When you sit there and down by 9, how about down by a dozen as another three-pointer by Madison Smith? She now has 28 points. As Boise State takes the timeout, they have 1 timeout remaining. And Smith nearing a season high, just easy money for the senior.
Just great spot up, great find, taking advantage of Boise State not being on their toes, coming out of the underneath out of bounds. As we take a look at the top scorers, Madison Smith and Milani Perry, there's something to be said for their consistency throughout the season. Night in and night out, we've been talking about them, and they're always right around their average. Madison Smith has obviously blown by that today with 28 points. So they're so consistent, and when you get a little bit of contribution from Akeelia O'Holler and Jada McNabb, Alexis Cortez, that's what really pushes Air Force to the next level and makes them a very difficult team to guard.
Well, Smith, as I said earlier, nearing a season high. Her season high is 29 points. She has 28. Get this, her career high, 31. So has 2:20 to go to see if she could go and match those numbers or surpass them.
That'd be pretty cool to do on your senior day.
Yep. So Boise State with 1 timeout remaining. Looking for anything they could do to get this back and cut into this lead, and they will go to the line to shoot 2 as Tatum Thompson with a strong take, and the foul will be on McNabb.
And I think McNabb may have gotten her on the body there. I thought she had really good timing, was straight up, but as we take a look at the replay, maybe just leaned into her a little bit. Her arms came down a little bit at the beginning. That's where they're going to call it. So just keep the arms straight up, take the charge, or just let him shoot a difficult shot.
Tatum Thompson makes the first free throw. That cuts a 2-minute and 10-second streak of being scoreless. If the Broncos are going to come back in this game, you got to make your free throws. And also you need some steals. They're applying the full court pressure. Boise State does have 5 steals in this game. And there'll be a foul in the backcourt as Milani Perry takes a spill on the bench for Boise State.
And Boise State kind of bailed her out there, because I think if they didn't have fouled, they would have gotten a very clean trap, and it would have been scramble mode for the Falcons.
Only the first team foul on Boise State. So they could be really physical if they want to as it gets across the timeline, and Madison Smith will start to burn some clock. Falcons 16-12 this season, 6-10 in conference play. Tied up with Boise State, 7th in the Mountain West. Perry with a strong second half. Looking for some help. Gets to Hunter, a single. Back to Perry, mid-range J all the way. That's easy money for Milani Perry. 25 points for the junior.
Now on the defensive end, just make Boise State work for their points. That's exactly what you don't want to do. Let them take 15, 20 seconds off the clock, because that takes away 2 or 3 possessions down the road for them.
Danny Bays now with 10 points as Perry has it. Gets it Jada McNabb. And the clock will continue to run. If you're Boise State, do you start to foul?
I think you just try and rush it a little bit. I mean, you have fouls to give, so that might be a good move. But I think Air Force, again, this is why they needed the lead that they have, so they can apply pressure and not get into this foul battle down the stretch.
Madison Smith will go to the free throw line. Actually, no, she won't. That'll be the second team foul, but that's not a good foul with 3 seconds on the shot clock.
Yeah, and allowing them to get back up to 20 seconds. They can pull it out because they're inbounding it from the sideline. So not a great foul. I think they should have fouled a little bit earlier, or with more time left on the shot clock.
Well, Smith for 3 and misses the shot. Don't know about that one. You want to use as much shot clock as you can. Door slightly ajar for Boise State, who needs a shot in the worst way. Thompson for 3. That's good. 75-68. Well, this one is not in the W column yet for the Falcons, and Air Force will take a timeout.
And I think Coach McIntyre will want to take a look at the pressure that they're applying and give her team a set of rules to get the ball across half court.
Boise State being led by the 16 points from Tatum Thompson. Bays with 10, Pascal with 13, and Lalott with 10 off the bench. But let's take another look at the quick shot from Madison Smith, who has done everything right except this play here.
I'm not sure she knew that the shot clock reset to 20 seconds. I think she was still in the mindset of 3 seconds, because if it was 3 seconds left on the shot clock,
that's a great shot.
Really smart shot. But with 20 seconds left, yeah, she should have pulled it out, and that obviously led to a quick basket by the Boise State Broncos. So if you're the Falcons, get the ball over half court. Let the Broncos come to you and force either a foul or try to steal the ball. So just be smart with the ball. If there's only an 8-second differential, so the Broncos have to foul you. They have a couple of fouls to give, 3 fouls to give. So it's going to take a few to get to the line. So take care of the ball. Once you get to the line, knock down free throws on the defensive end. Make them work, like I said, for the shots that they take. No quick layups, no quick threes, because they have to get quick points in order to get back into this game.
Well, the Falcons move the ball across half court, which is smart to do. Now, when you're looking at the foul situation, Boise State has 3 fouls to give. So you may see one immediately, and you do. So the foul will be on Jada Clark. And for Jada Clark, that is her second personal foul. 2 more fouls remaining. So that's only the 13th foul.
And they only took a second off, so good job on Boise State for fouling quickly.
They throw the ball in the backcourt. That's exactly what happens here. Milani Perry gives it to Madison Smith. You got to foul if you're Boise State, don't you?
You have to, and foul quickly. And Air Force did a good job of moving the ball quickly so they couldn't even foul them. So Boise State has to be a little bit more on it to defend the ball, or at least try and get a tip-away steal or something going.
The next foul will lead to free throws. So Boise State will go for the steal initially.
So now they're going to play the game of who do you want to take the free throws? Who do you want to foul? Probably not Madison Smith and Milani Perry, so they're going to deny them hard. So probably look for Jada McNabb or Alexis Cortez to get the ball off this inbound.
And the referees, for one reason or another, they're having a conversation. Now we're ready to play. Ball be inbounded to Perry, and Perry could have took the layup. She'll go and spend some more time, and the ball goes around the horn and poked away. And Smith has it. A lot of precious seconds are coming off the clock for Boise State. It'll be very tough for the Broncos to go and win this one with 5 seconds on the clock. Now 4, 3, 2, 1, and the shot clock goes off. But most importantly, as the shot won't count for Cortez, more importantly, though, only 7.6 seconds remaining in the game. A little bit surprised that Boise State didn't foul.
I'm wondering why they didn't. Air Force wasn't moving the ball as quickly as they could have.
Well, Goy Preshno right now is having a conversation with one of the referees, and he is not happy about it at all.
And I didn't see any of the Broncos players blatantly foul. So it wasn't like the refs were missing. Yeah, so we see here no foul. No foul. Tried to poke the ball away. Still no foul. So you have 6, 7 opportunities. 8 opportunities. Yeah, unsure there because you could have forced somebody to go to the line and gotten the ball back quickly. No
more timeouts remaining for Boise State. By the way, even with 7.6 seconds left, good time to let you know who our referees are. Darren Krisnick, Angie Light, as well as Arthur Green.
And they've done a fantastic job today, having a good balance of letting the game be physical, letting players play, and blowing the whistle.
Well, with 7.6 seconds to go and down by 3 possessions, not saying it's impossible, but Reggie Miller's no longer playing in the game anymore. As the ball goes behind the back, stolen away by the senior, Madison Smith. And what a way to end senior day. Madison Smith with 28 points, 9 rebounds, 3 assists, and a steal to end the ball game as the Air Force Falcons defeat the Boise State Broncos 75-68 on senior day. Now McIntyre joins some rare company, and man, it looks good. She ties 2 other coaches as the only coaches to have 17 or more wins in their first season on the job. And she'll have a chance to go and break that tie in the next game in a couple of days. But it's all smiles right now for the Falcons as they defeat the Boise State Broncos by 7, 75-68. We'll have our post-game report coming up in a bit as the Falcons, as you can see, have won their 5th game overall against Boise State. They are now 5-24 in the series history. You good? Air Force Basketball on Altitude is brought to you by Intermountain Health, helping people live the healthiest lives possible. Well, it's all smiles for the Air Force Falcons that they were able to defeat Boise State 72-65 on senior day. And you know what? Anytime you get a dub, you know you got to talk to the head coach. And we're here talking with the head coach of the women's basketball team, Stacey McIntyre. Number one, your thoughts on this victory?
Yeah. I just couldn't be more proud of this team, and especially just a proper senior send-off, excuse me. And just, I mean, can't say enough about, Joe Huntmer and Madison Smith, and I mean, they both had great games today. And gosh, how about Milani Perry? She was awesome down the stretch.
Yeah, you talk about what Milani Perry did in the second half, 25 points overall. Did pretty good, and Madison Smith got off to a strong start with 12 points in the first quarter. That was impressive.
Well, I think Maddie's on a mission. I think that's the best way to describe it. And, I mean, what Lonnie pulled through us in the stretch. And, I mean, everybody contributed today, so it was a total team effort.
How satisfying is a win like this, especially the last game against San Diego State? You led by 10 going into the fourth quarter of that game. You led by 12 in this one and was able to go and get a W. How big is this one as you have one final game in the regular season?
I mean, you love having a win like this, especially on your last home game. But, just as a reminder to these kids that we expect to win, that we come out and we execute, and, it's great momentum going into Albuquerque.
All right, now before we let you go, I got to brag on you a little bit, all right? You tied the record for the most wins by a first-year coach in their first season with 17 wins. You have one game to go, but what does this win mean to you, especially your first season?
I mean, you know what? I don't even think about it. I mean, clearly we to ask the team to take, one game at a time, and I do the same. And, certainly just thankful, not just for what the kids do, but this coaching staff, because they're amazing. And, when you do have a great staff, you have a record like this.
Well, Coach, congratulations on the victory. Well deserved, and enjoy a great win yet again.
Thank you, Justin.
All right, thank you so much. And that's Stacey McIntyre, the head coach of the women's basketball team here for the Air Force Falcons. Let's take a look at some stats. Why don't we? As you see, the Falcons doing a great job, but it's that turnover number that really helped out Air Force this afternoon. Boise State, 20 turnovers, Air Force with only 9. Rebound advantage did go the way of Boise State, but the Falcons doing a great job from downtown and also making it happen overall with 4 more assists against Boise State. As I welcome back Gene Parker. And Gene, you heard the comments from Coach McIntyre. Very proud of her players, especially her senior with Madison Smith. Joe Hunemer doing a great job on senior day, and Melanie Perry helping out. That's
She's probably saying, how come you can't give that to me every game? Can we get 30 points every single game? That would help us out quite a bit. But I think them being able to battle back and absorb Boise State's runs was fantastic, and they put together a pretty close to complete game. And it also helps Melanie Perry almost went perfect from the field in the second half, and a couple buzzer beaters helps there. So she's just fantastic from the mid-range that we saw in both halves.
Yeah, Melanie Perry with 14 points in the second half. And she really shot every shot in the second half from the same place, just a little bit away from the elbow. And when you leave her that wide open, you know it's going in the bottom of the net.
That wide open with her favorite shot. It's really tough to guard, and she makes it look so easy. But I know the Broncos players were really trying to guard her.
Yeah, well, let's talk about Madison Smith. She started off this game very strong, ends this one with 28 points. What can you say about the performance about this senior?
I think she just came out focused and had a fire in her and just played very smart, and everybody fed off of that, and then also got it done on the defensive end as well. Like we said, that's the Falcons' identity. And when you see your senior star player getting all of these steals, you can't help but respond and play a little bit harder. Madison Smith, she's not a vocal leader, I would say, but she was leading by example all today.
They also has some help as well. Jada McNabb did a great job. You have several other players who were able to go and dominate off the bench. And this is with only Keely O'Halloran, one of the players that really knows how to score, only scoring 5 points. So it's your 2 top players doing a great job in order to get it done for the Falcons. Now they improved to 7-10 in conference play, have a chance to end the regular season at 8-10 in conference play, will face a very good New Mexico team. What do they have to do to get that W on the road? I
think just a complete game. Again, they have to be consistent in every single quarter. Let the defense fuel their offense. I sound like a broken record, but that's when they're at their best, is when they're stealing the ball, knocking down shots, and having just a little bit of fun out there.
I tell you what, it was a lot of fun here at Clune Arena as the Air Force Falcons were able to win the home slate of the season with a W, 75-68 over the Boise State Broncos. Well, join us back here on Tuesday for some more familiar logos. The Air Force men's basketball team will take on Boise State. Our coverage will start at 7 p.m. on Altitude 2. This has been a presentation of Altitude Sports, your home for the Air Force Falcons. For Gene Parker and the entire crew, I'm Justin Adams saying thank you as always for spending some time with us. We will see you next time